Chocolate Man. Okay, my guy, James Casino, Chocolate Man in Thailand, Chocolate Man in van, Chocolate Man of no plan. We've moved back and forth, back and forth. But my guy, back in May, Honey came as a stock E250 van, a very beautiful stock E250 van. Got a Baja grocery getter kit, got a front tube winch bumper, rear dual swings. And since then, a Wasatch high top as well, and a ton of lights and a sweet upgraded stereo. So I've been following along the adventures, man. I've been following along. And for the people out there watching, I know you guys have been following a little bit. And if you haven't, you need to tune in because this stuff is really exciting, even beyond doing van stuff. Dude, how many miles have you put on this thing so far, man, since you left us?
Almost, let me see. We're at 9,000, about 9,000 miles since I left the shop.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That's called adventures across the lands. That's what man, I've been following along, and I'll tell you this. I've pasted every YouTube link, and I'm like, I don't know when this is going to end, but I'm going to keep doing it. And I have put timestamps below every YouTube link so I can put together a sick honey compilation, okay? And word is the adventure doesn't stop. So what's next up right now after this whole big adventure that you've been on?
Yeah, man. I mean, you guys will see in the videos. I got a ton of videos coming up.
Just watch the videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro, like it's like there's so because like the last I don't even know what was the last video. I don't know. I was somewhere still in Canada.
Yeah, but I think you were still in Canada.
I've been to Washington, Oregon, and Northern California since then. So I've got a bunch of videos from all those places. So
absolutely,
there's still a couple of Canadian videos left still too. So I mean, there's like another 10, 15 videos coming.
Yeah, you might be like a couple weeks behind on videos, basically.
Like, at least a couple weeks behind.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even close to real time. Way too much stuff going on. So
it's way too much stuff going on, man. Okay, so man, one of the first things that happened, let's see, you went up to Canada, you went to the whole Chrome event situation. Talk about that a little bit. We love our van toys. We love our Chrome Valdez up here. How was that experience?
The Chrome project, he was like, he's been trying to do this for years. You know, he's done big meetups and whatnot, but then he was like, I want to have this festival, this mass event, this huge event, you know, and that's like, it's been his baby. So yeah, they put together this crazy thing up there in what was that town? I forgot. Anyway, in British Columbia. But anyway, it was pretty epic. So
was that Coombs?
I was a last minute ad. I was just like, what was it there?
Coombs?
Yeah, Coombs, British Columbia. I was like a last minute ad. I just got all my stuff done on my van. You know, me and Jeremy were talking. He's like, hey, I can link you up with Chrome. I was like, cool, let's do that. Let's link up with Chrome. And he responded back to me. I sent him a text and he responded back to me. And I was like, hey, I'm coming to Van Fest. He was like, killer. And I was like, let's do this. So, man, I took my time. I took about, 10 days to get all the way up there. And adventured along the way with my new setup. It was pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting. All right. But van life was not without like any of these little troubleshooting things that happen, right? So along the way, dual rear swing bumper that we have, badass setup, holds your generator, all this kind of stuff. We started getting a little bit of that like rattling situation. You had to strap it in, right? So talk about that a little bit and kind of what was the initial thing that you knew that point there was failing on the frame in the rear?
Yeah, so nothing wrong with the product. You know, the WeldTech bumper was doing exactly what it was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is with the stock bumper mounts on the van. They just weren't designed to deal with that stress.
Right.
So, you know, I hit you guys up and we had to come up with a solution, basically an engineering solution. And it just so happens that Chrome has a shop that it all worked out. It was a beautiful thing. So we had some parts sent up there to the shop in Coombs, got that stuff welded on there. Daryl, the mastermind, Daryl is an absolutely exceptional craftsman, exceptional mechanic, knows what the hell he's doing. I mean, he just yanked the bumper off, threw on these brackets that you guys sent up, and that was, I mean, it really wasn't, you know, he spent a few hours on it, welded some stuff up real quick, and now it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like, you couldn't yank that shit off of there now. It's so tight.
Much more robust. And like, dude, it's really great that, you know, you were so vocal about that. You told us right away. And, you know, I got the solution cooking up with Jeremy because now we know, like, moving forward, right? This is something that we need to pay attention to. That mounting point on the frame of those rear of those E-Series, they're going to be prone to failure. We're gonna make sure that we have that situation dialed for customers down the line for when they're on adventures like you've been on, and you've been
Yep,
on some
yep,
big ones, man. So
yep. That's the thing, man. I'm not out there in parking lots, man. I'm out there in the mountains and driving around, and yeah, man, it's gonna take some hits. So it's
the whole
got to be
shebang,
solid,
the
baby.
whole shebang, dude.
Yep,
Right
it's
on.
got. I didn't build this van to look cute. I built this van to be
Yeah.
functional.
Hey, but she
So
cute. She cute.
she's cute, but yeah, she's very
But
functional as well.
always in the videos. Oh, honey, she looking so cute right there. Oh,
Yep,
honey,
that's my
we
baby.
looking so beautiful.
That's my
Man,
baby.
all right. Impressions of just the Pacific Northwest. I know you grew up in like the Washington kind of Oregon split, going back and forth kind of area,
Yeah,
but
yep.
had you had that experience in your life as a young man, taking your vehicle on the ferry, going to the different situations, Vancouver Island, all that? Tell me your impressions of that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, just messing around in the PNW in the Northwest or the Northwest area of the country is, first of all, it's cooler. So yeah, we're thankful for that. It's much more a relaxed atmosphere in the summertime. It's much cooler, much more comfortable. But yeah, man, taking honey on the ferries now, that's fun, man. I was like, you wouldn't think this big thing is gonna fit on a ferry, but it does okay. It does okay.
Oh
You got
yeah.
it on there, no problem.
I remember taking the ferry from Seattle area, right, when I was a kid, and it was like all these vehicles coming on. And then at the end, everyone's cool. We're about to close up, and then it's like beep, beep. Oh man, this tractor needs to get on. And they're like, all right, everyone, move up an inch, move up an inch. And everyone, inch by inch by inch, they fit this tractor on the very back of the whole thing,
Yeah, thankfully
So
these ferries are so big. We had space to spare. I mean, these things they're a lot bigger than they look.
massive,
Yep.
massive. So your impressions of Canada. Had you been to Canada before as
So
an
I hadn't
adult?
been to Canada since 1986. That was the last I
Long
went there
time.
for the expo. Like it was like a World's Fair expo thing they had in 1986. So it had been 40 years since
40
I had been to
years.
Canada.
You were a
40
young man.
years.
You were a strapping young lad back then, huh? You were damn near a teenager then,
Yeah,
right?
man. That shit. Anyway.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
pastries galore. Going into little
Yep.
shops, going into little, we're going from off grid, kind of like out there in the woods, to I'm here into these little beautiful cities and pastry shops, and I'm getting my audio system done and all this kind of stuff, right? What's that flow and that transition like for you? Like what's going through your head when you're just seeing all these sites, you're in these cities, you're going to these little shops and pastries, and then you're going into the woods and and you're solo, you know? What's kind of like your thought process through that? Like, what are you feeling?
Yeah.
What's your inner
Never stop
monologue,
exploring, man. Never stop exploring. And a new experience is an owned experience. So you're like, you get out there and you're exploring, you're seeing new stuff, you experience a whole different type of vibe. Like Canada is pretty chill. Vancouver in the city, okay, it's a city. It's people like they are. But as soon as you get away from the city, that's where you start seeing the real Canadians. And they were just very conversational, very relaxed, and they wanted to know all about honey. Like every time honey's parked up. So that even happened in the city. I got to say, I met a cat from somewhere in Mexico. Or where was he from? I can't remember. Anyway, he's from somewhere in South America or Mexico. But he saw my van. He's like, that's my dream vehicle. He was in love. He's like, that's my dream vehicle. He just stopped me in the street. He's like, that's your van? I was like, yeah, that's my van. He's like,
That's my
dream.
van. That's my dream vehicle.
That's my dream. I was like, I would love to have that. I was surprised to get that in the city. But outside the city, all the time, people stop you. They want to talk about it. What modifications? Who did the modifications? Where did this happen? How did this work? They want to know everything about this van. They want to get up inside and see the space, and they love it. They absolutely enjoy what's going on with this thing.
Yeah, and we love it too. All of us here watching, we love it too. Honey is one badass van now. I mean, dude, it did not stop at the WellTech kit. It was the Wasatch, it was the windows, it was the AC, it was the lights, and then it was the super sweet sound system. Which, how's that thing sounding?
Oh, it bangs, baby. She bangs. She loud now.
Okay, go-to tune on the road. Come on, give me one.
What's up now?
What's like a go-to song to listen to on the road for you?
Y'all wouldn't be able to keep up with me. I listen to everything. I mean, I literally listen. I go from classical music to classical rock. I don't care. I'm all over the place. Rap, hip hop, country, whatever strikes my mood. I have no, like, when people ask me what's your favorite song, that would never work for me because it depends on my mood, where I'm at, what I'm doing. Like, I'm all over the map. I listen to literally everything.
So is it safe to say we're not repeating a song?
Not likely. When I'm out on the road for 5-6 hour drive, yeah, it would drive people crazy. Like, dude, you were just listening to country, now you listen to Kendrick Lamar or something. You're like, what are you doing?
Yes,
I would
sir.
mess with people's heads because I like music. I like all kinds of music.
That's
You know,
great. That's
I'll
great.
be pumping Pavarotti in here. Like I can do
Hmm.
this.
And then it's probably a lot of oh, gotta put that on mute. Recording. All right, put the music back on. Put that on mute.
That
Recording.
if it's a busy day and I'm driving through a nice area, I don't even turn the stereo on because I'm gonna be on and off
Hmm.
the video all day. So yeah, I can't
Hmm.
really listen to music. But yeah, long stretches, nothing to record. Yeah, we're pumping in.
Absolutely, my guy. Absolutely. One of the coolest moments was we're going through some, and then we're in the hills. We're with a group of people, and then suddenly we're at this beach, and we're all chilling out, and then we're getting all this food served to us. Like, just man, like I'm getting hungry watching the video, and then we got this tent, and we're watching the World Cup in the tent. Tell us about that experience a little bit with all those
Yeah,
cool
man.
people out
So
there, and how'd you get connected with them?
those crazy Canucks. I hung out with a couple of those guys at the Van Fest. Of course, the Van Fest was like the genesis of a lot of the things I did in Canada. I didn't expect to spend that much time in Canada, but you met so many cool people at Van Fest. They were like, hey, come to this, come to that. So Jeff, my boy, he was like, hey, I met him. He got the big blue nasty E350 7.3 liter diesel 4-wheel drive, big old nasty truck. But anyway, he was like, hey, come out to this barbecue I'm doing. I'm gonna be cooking some brisket. He said brisket, I'm
Mm-hmm.
in. That was
I'm
it.
in.
I'm in, baby.
And he
He's
had the
like, hey, we're gonna,
badass mobile brisket cooker thingy there. That
bruh,
was whew,
the smoker, man.
the
They were
smoker.
grinding with that smoker all weekend long. But he's like, hey, we're gonna be in Squamish at this campground. Come on out if you want to. I was like, cool, I'm gonna come hang out. I only expected to spend like one day out there, and I spent the whole weekend with them. All of them were super, super cool. They all knew each other for years. They were all, friends for decades, whatever. And they just embraced me into their group, and we just had a good time. It was fun.
Amazing. And those people were
Yeah, it
real
was great.
cool. It's nice to see you just like
Yeah.
hanging out with people when you never even expected that, you know?
Nope.
What do we say?
Totally random.
Embrace the
Random, baby, all day.
random
Yep.
all day, every
Get
day.
it, baby.
All
Every
right.
day.
Towards the end of the trip, right? We're crossing into a different state. Most likely it sounds like the state of Alberta. Now, if you look on the map here, and man, I got the little star there because that's the one I asked for. If we look at the map there,
Yeah.
let's let that
Hey,
focus.
don't be giving up my locations.
We're not, but we look in here. I mean, look at the sheer amount of just mountains and rivers and all that stuff going on. First of all, to even get there, I mean, you can't just drive there straight from the US. You're in Canada, and then you got to take this road that goes all the way, boop, 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 right? What's that like being on that highway to the Alberta area?
Yeah, so all of lower British Columbia is nothing but mountains, valleys, rivers, streams. Absolutely phenomenally beautiful. You're just gonna enjoy yourself driving around that area. Little cities spread throughout, like Kamloops and whatnot, and then just little tiny towns. But again, all super chill, relaxed, except for Canadians love to drive really fast. So I just stay out of their way. Other than that, everybody's very relaxed, very chill, very cool, very friendly, very conversational. You can't go anywhere without getting stopped and ask questions about the van and just, where you from. They know as soon as they hear you talk, they know you're an American versus a Canadian. And they just want to, hey, why you up here? What you doing? Have you seen it? And then Canadian, this is the best thing about Canadians is if they live in that area, they're gonna tell you every cool place to go. I love that.
No gatekeeping with the Canadians, huh?
No, man,
Hey.
they bring down the list of all the, hey, have you been here? Oh, you should go up here. Oh, you should definitely check this out. Go here, go see, go this. They were like, they're very proud of their country. It's good stuff. It was wonderful.
When I see that area in Alberta that you're at on video and you're driving through, I'm saying, in California, we got one Yosemite. It looks like in Canada, in that area, they got like unlimited Yosemites. I mean, the sheer volume of huge, tall rock faces and the rivers and the valleys, like you said, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
It was like you would go down a river valley, every little road that like crosses through like a pass or anything like that is going to be in a river valley, and there's going to be a river on one side of you the entire time, and it's going to be mountains to the left and right of you. It was just insane. Absolutely beautiful drives.
Love to hear.
Incredible.
Love to hear it.
Just scenery, wildlife. You see a million deer. It got boring looking at deer because there's deer everywhere. So, you keep your eye on them so they don't run out in front of you. I almost got to test out the front bumper, and I tried to get the footage off my camera and I had my old mirror in here, and for some reason it didn't record it. I was like, that deer was within inches of the bumper.
Oh man,
it was crazy, but it's all good. It's all good.
All good. Oh, glad that deer is good. Glad you are
Yep.
good.
Yep. I'm
9,000
good. The
miles
deer's
in a
good.
Baja Grocery Getter lift kit. Tell me
Yeah.
your honest opinion on how it performs for you.
Yeah. I mean, compared, so I drove the stock suspension in this thing for 20, 30,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Many times I felt like my life was on the line because any little bump in the road at 50, 60 miles an hour, this thing is all over the friggin' place. So now that we've got the suspension on there, that was one of the first things that I noticed is how tight the steering is. That was the first thing it fixes. Like it feels so much tighter. We've got the dampening, we got the steering dampener, what in there. It keeps everything nice and firm. But you know, I can cruise down the road at 70 miles an hour, hit a bump, and I'm just like, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever. It just sucks it up. Like, cool.
like
You
nothing.
know, it makes a hell of a racket back here because all the stuff I got in the back, but the suspension's like, yeah, I'm good. It's like, let's keep going, you know. And then we
Love
get
it.
off road, and that's where it's just crazy. It's just nuts off road. It articulates so well. You can see it in the videos how much everything moves and just sucks up the butt. It's absolutely phenomenal how well it works. So in the rear, even the rear is just like you would think them leaves would be kind of stiff and not really move. Man, the back moves around a lot. I was surprised how much the back moves.
A lot.
Yes.
And we had a recent mystery noise, and I was like watching the video troubleshooting. I'm like, dude, what could that noise be? What, like, bro, we have not gotten noise out of these Baja Grocery Getter kits. And what did it end up being?
So, you know, I got a new winch hook. I don't know if you noticed that on there. It came with that stock, weird, bright metal looking thing,
Right.
which I didn't like. So my boy Jamaro had an extra hook. He's like, hey, let me hook you up with this hook. I was like, cool. So I threw it on there, but when I put it on, I didn't lock it down, so to speak. I didn't quite put it in the right place. Either way, I didn't realize that I had done that. And every once in a while, I would hit a bump. I'd be on the forest road or whatever. I'm driving through the parking lot and I'd hit a bump and I hear this clunk. I was like, what is that noise? Like, is my suspension jacked up? You know, did I get ripped off? Is Weldtech screwing me up? No, it wasn't that serious. It was, and what did I do? Oh, I walked by the front of the van and I bumped into the hook and I heard that same clunk noise. And I was like, and then I hit it with my hand and it made the exact noise I was been wondering about for a while. I was like,
yeah,
really?
It has a little hollow ring to it, you know, like you're in the bumper.
That hollow clunk noise. I was like, so pulled out my trusty wireless remote and, you know, just brought it in like an inch and it locked the hook into the fair lead. And hey, guess what? No more clunk.
No more clunk. No more clunk. Everything's good.
Yeah. So you know, before you start assuming that your suspension is falling out of your van, make sure your winch hook is not loose.
Absolutely. I mean, dude, you know what it is? Our mind's going to go to the most expensive thing first. I spent all this money on the suspension, just making a noise. Like, that's where we're going to go. You know, we're not going to go, oh, my buddy hooked me up with a winch, you know, and that's what's making the noise, or the hook for the winch, rather.
Yeah,
you know? But speaking of that off-road performance, a shot that we really like over here for you guys to see, if you haven't seen it on Instagram yet, this is the Flex It Out Friday. Just beautiful articulation on that, right?
Yeah.
Wasatch. They reposted that. You got the Wasatch high top. What's your experience with that so far?
Yo, you absolutely. If you have an Econoline and you don't have that top on there, I don't know what you're doing. I really don't. I don't know how you're getting around. I don't know how you're getting through your day. If you spend any amount of time in this van, this top is night and day game changer. Absolutely. And I'm not gentle with it. You know, it's up there. The van is 10 feet tall now with the air conditioner on top. And that does not stop me from going out into the woods. There's brush and everything. I've got some scratches on the side. I don't care. It's you know, and it's tough enough to handle it. You know, it's a very rigid structure. Once it's installed, there's over 200 screws holding this thing on. So it ain't going anywhere. You know, it's not going to get loose. It's not going to leak. You know, that's just and being able to stand up in the van. I'm 6'1" and I can stand completely erect in here and just be comfortable. You can get dressed standing up. You don't know how important that is to you. I can cook standing up. You don't realize how big a deal that is. You know, like it changes your life inside the van when you can stand up inside it. I could never go back.
Never go back. And I think one of the things that I like the most is that window situation where you got the dual shade going on and then that they open up as well. Can't beat that. Keep the bugs out, keep the airflow going.
Oh, that coupled with the max air fan, whether the max airfan's on blow in or blow out, you can feel the airflow changing with those windows open, and it just gives you that cross breeze. So if I'm laying up on my bed, I've got a breeze going right across the top of my body, and I can just lay there and chill out, relax. It's amazing. It's amazing. You can suck all that hot air out when you're in the summertime. It's awesome.
Amazing. So
Yes.
9,000 miles with Honey. Is there anything you would have done differently the way you built her right now?
Right now, no, she is like all the things I've added on it. And it took me forever to come to this decision to like spend the amount of money that I did on this van. So by the time I made up my mind what I wanted to put on this van, I knew that was what I wanted. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to put this on here. And then a week later, I'm going to be like, oh, I should have gone with this kit, or I should have gone with this system, or I should have done 4-wheel drive, or I should have done that. No, I was like, look, here's what I'm going to do with the van. Here's where I'm going to go with the van. This is what I need. Let me get these parts, put these on here. And then it's just been validated over the last 9,000 miles. Everything has been validated that, yes, that was what I should have done. Those are the parts I should have gone with, like even like the last minute change, like the rims. I wanted to do originally, I was going to do the, what's the other brand you guys do there?
The Methods.
I got the Rhinos. What's up?
We do Methods, and then you wanted the Rhinos. Yeah.
Yep. I started out with the Methods, and I was like, man, those Methods are sick. I was like, that's going to be the perfect wheel. And then I saw the Rhinos. I was like, that was it. And every day I look at those Rhinos, I'm just like, oh, that was the absolute best choice. Because she looks like a military badass vehicle to me. I don't know. She just looks cool. Like an urban assault vehicle or something. I dig it. Yep.
There we go, man.
So
9,000 miles, Canada,
so
Washington,
sick.
Oregon, California, chocolate man with no plan at the moment.
Yeah.
If you want to know what happens next, you're going to have to tune into the videos, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you as always, my guy. Thank you for being a part of the WellTech fam. Thank you for doing the badass stuff you're doing so I can live vicariously through you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you already know I'm going to be on my own adventures and stuff, but not the van stuff. I'm going to be a little more on the, well, you have to wait for that too.
Yeah. Tune in for that, right?
Tune in for that, A pleasure. Wishing you all the best on your
Appreciate it, brother.
Travels. It's traveling forever. And we'll see you and give another update at some point. What's next for Honey? Who knows? We'll find out.
Oh, we got some stuff coming up. We'll see.
Yes, sir. All right, my guy. Appreciate you.
Brother.
Appreciate your service. Appreciate everything. And we'll catch you, my guy.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace.